Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really diving into something crucial, green education, specifically within Arab learning cities. You've brought us a great set of sources, a research paper, a briefing document, a timeline, quite a lot to unpack. So our goal today, figure out what green education actually is, why it's so vital for sustainability, how it's being used globally, and importantly in the Arab world. We'll definitely look at the challenges too, but also the exciting potential here.
Absolutely. And what's really interesting, I think, is how these sources frame it. It's not just like a school subject.
Yeah.
It's positioned as a fundamental tool, a way to actually build societies that are environmentally conscious. Weaving these environmental ideas right into everyday learning, everyday life, it's about changing mindsets, really.
Okay, yeah, let's unpack that. So the sources define green education as, well, an approach to instill awareness, promote sustainable practices for individuals, communities. But the
Yeah.
big question is why? Why is it so important right now?
Well, the term used is essential tool. And it's essential because it tackles these big, interconnected, global issues we're all facing. Environmental, social, economic, they're all linked. So when you integrate things like renewable energy, conserving resources, green tech, right into the curriculum, into daily school life, you're basically equipping the next generation, giving them the tools, the habits to deal with climate change, resource issues, pollution. It's proactive.
Right, it's about action, not just facts.
Exactly. It's about fostering action.
That makes a lot of sense. So it sounds like it's really about developing practical skills, competencies for sustainable development, building responsible communities. The research you found breaks it down into three dimensions, which I think is helpful because it shows it's broader than just, planting trees. First, the environmental dimension. This is about really understanding the issues, right? And encouraging responsible behavior towards nature, managing resources, cutting waste, using renewables, biodiversity, all that core ecological stuff.
The foundation.
Then second, the economic dimension. This is interesting, developing sustainable economic practices. So conserving resources, but also promoting responsible growth, fostering a green economy, skills for green jobs.
Yeah, making green actually work economically. That has
Well,
to be viable.
Got it. And the third is the social dimension. This is about building social awareness, helping communities adapt to environmental change, and tackling those linked environmental and social challenges. So environmental citizenship, social responsibility, it's about people.
Right. And connecting this to the bigger picture, the UN Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, green education is explicitly called out as an essential tool for achieving those, especially SDG 4, quality education.
Okay, so it's not just a nice idea, it's tied into this global framework. The sources really show how it feeds into environmental protection directly, resource management, pollution, climate change, and it also drives sustainable economic growth, green tech, resource efficiency, and critically, that social justice piece, advocating for, fair access to resources, quality education for everyone.
Exactly. It's about building communities, individuals who can adapt, who can handle these really complex environmental, social, economic shifts.
It's holistic,
Yeah,
building resilience.
precisely.
Now, the sources also bring up this concept of learning cities. What exactly are those?
Right. Learning cities.
Yeah.
Basically, think of cities designed to promote lifelong learning for everyone living there. Education isn't just in schools. It's woven into, well, every part of city life.
Okay.
And what's compelling is how they're seen as ideal environments for putting green education into practice. Imagine parks, public buildings, community projects all being learning opportunities for sustainability.
Okay. Like a living lab.
Exactly. A living laboratory. They offer these integrated platforms focused on sustainable learning, helping people build the skills they need to face modern challenges.
Pretty much, they foster these sustainable learning communities. They encourage innovation using new tech, sustainable practices, because their core goals, lifelong learning, community sustainability, participation, innovation, they just align perfectly with green education.
Yeah, that's where the theory really meets practice citywide.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's look at some real-world examples. The sources mention several countries doing interesting things globally. What are we seeing there?
Well, a few key trends pop out. Definitely curriculum integration and using new technology. Take the United States. They have this Green Schools program.
Yeah.
The idea is to make the school campus itself a learning tool. So sustainability isn't just in a book. It's in how the school manages energy, water, waste.
Right, practical application.
Yeah. And they're using tech like virtual reality.
Mhm.
Students taking virtual trips to endangered places, seeing pollution's impact. It makes it more real.
Immersive learning, like Australia doing similar things with VR for sustainability, virtual forests, oceans.
Exactly. And then you have Sweden, really strong on embedding environmental ed at all levels, plus a big focus on training teachers. Japan, too. Green education is core to their national curriculum. Conservation isn't just theory, it's part of daily activities, community links.
So it's quite embedded in these places. What about closer to home? Examples from the Arab world.
Yeah, definitely seeing strong commitment there, often tied into national visions. The UAE, for instance, they've got green schools actually powered by solar, part of their Vision 2021. The goal is raising student awareness through the curriculum, but also through joint projects with local communities.
That community link seems important.
It does. Egypt is focusing on sustainable curricula, too, and building partnerships with environmental groups, getting schools involved in resource management. Saudi Arabia, under Vision 2030, is doing similar things, integrating green ed, developing eco-friendly schools.
And Jordan and Oman, more hands-on stuff.
Yeah, practical programs, tree planting, cleanup campaigns in Jordan, school gardening, awareness campaigns in Oman, trying to integrate sustainability into daily life. Very hands-on.
Okay, that gives a good picture. So if we compare the global and Arab efforts, what are the common threads? And what looks different?
Well, core goals are definitely shared. Integrating sustainability into what's taught.
Right.
Promoting practical activities, farming, waste management, using green tech, training teachers, community partnerships. Those are pretty universal aims.
Okay. But there are differences, too.
Yeah, I mean, generally you see global nations often having, let's say, more mature or broader policies in place already. And they seem quicker, perhaps, to adopt the really advanced educational tech, the sophisticated VR, AI for teaching.
Whereas Arab nations.
They're definitely embracing green tech, like solar for schools, sustainable agriculture projects, which is huge. But maybe they're at an earlier stage in integrating those advanced VRR tools, specifically for teaching methods across the board, and also in developing those really comprehensive nationwide environmental curricula that cut across all subjects.
So global experiences offer models, but adaptation and scaling up are the challenges.
Exactly. Adapting models to fit local contexts and then scaling them effectively. That seems to be the focus.
Makes sense. Now, given all that, the research actually proposes a strategic framework specifically for Arab learning cities. What's the vision there?
It's ambitious, definitely. The vision is basically to transform these cities into leading hubs for green education and sustainability, to build an environmentally conscious generation that can really drive sustainable development.
A powerful vision. And it has objectives at different levels.
Yeah, 3 levels. City level. Integrating green ed across all education, preschool to adult. School level.
Yeah.
Establishing actual green schools, renewable energy and all. And
Okay.
individual level. Fostering that personal awareness and responsibility.
Okay. And how does it propose getting there? What are the pillars?
Right, the pillars are key. First, green curriculum development. And this isn't just adding a module. It's about fundamentally updating curricula across subjects, sustainability, renewables, environmental practices, plus getting students involved in hands-on stuff, school farms, recycling, and using tech like VR and AR to make concepts clearer, like virtually tracing the water cycle, maybe.
Okay, tangible.
Yeah. Second pillar, sustainable infrastructure. Designing and building schools that are actually eco-friendly. Solar, water recycling, waste systems, green spaces like school gardens. The building itself becomes a lesson.
Third.
Community partnerships. Really strengthening ties between schools, local communities, environmental groups for awareness campaigns, joint projects, taking learning outside the school walls. Then, performance measurement. You need to track progress. So setting indicators, number of green schools, resource use, participation rates, and using that data for periodic reviews, continuous improvement, teacher training, curriculum updates. It's a cycle.
Right. Data-driven improvement.
Then there's a proposal for an Arab Center for Green Education and Sustainability, a regional hub for support, courses, resources, best practices.
Centralizing expertise.
Exactly. And finally, investing in fourth industrial revolution technologies, AI for analysis, personalized learning, VR/AR for simulations, digital platforms for sharing knowledge, really leveraging modern tech.
Wow, that's a comprehensive framework.
Yeah.
But it does make you ask, what are the roadblocks? The challenge?
Yeah, the sources are pretty clear on those, too. Implementing this isn't easy. Challenges include sometimes a lack of clear policies or strategies at a high level, insufficient resources, financial and human, for building that sustainable infrastructure.
Money and people, always key.
Right. And sometimes maybe lower baseline environmental awareness in society generally. Plus, a need for better coordination between all the different players, schools, government, NGOs.
Silos can be a problem.
Definitely. And then there's the ongoing need to develop truly integrated curricula and, crucially, train teachers well enough to deliver it effectively.
So quite a few hurdles. What are the recommendations then? How to move forward?
The recommendations map pretty directly onto those challenges. First, curriculum integration. Make sustainability core across all subjects, not an add-on.
Embed it.
Yeah. Second, green infrastructure. Prioritize building and upgrading schools to be eco-friendly models. Use renewables, manage resources smartly.
Lead by example.
Third, teacher training. Continuous high-quality training so teachers feel confident and capable.
Empowering educators.
Fourth, enhanced partnerships. Break down those silos. Build strong links between schools, communities, environmental groups, government.
Collaboration.
Fifth, technology adoption. Really embrace things like VR to make learning more interactive, engaging.
Make it stick.
And finally, community awareness. Broad, ongoing campaigns to boost environmental literacy and promote sustainable habits for everyone, not just in schools.
Okay, a clear roadmap. So as we wrap up this deep dive, it feels like green education isn't just, a nice to have, it's strategic, it's imperative.
Absolutely. For Arab-learning cities, for everywhere, really.
It's not just about teaching facts, is it? It's about nurturing active, engaged citizens who can actually tackle these complex global challenges.
That's the core of it. And the future really hinges on collaboration. Governments, schools, communities, individuals, everyone has a role. It's about building this strong educational and environmental framework together. One that ensures fairness,
Yeah.
access to knowledge, access to resources for generations ahead. It has that ripple effect.
Yeah. We've seen the challenges, resources, developing curricula, but the ambition is just huge. The idea of whole cities becoming these living classrooms for sustainability. Imagine the impact if every school becomes a model of stewardship and every citizen feels like an active participant.
It's transformative thinking.
So the question for you listening is, what does this mean for you? Thinking about this journey, how could you apply some of these green education principles, maybe in your own life, your community, even if it's not a formal classroom? Could be small daily habits, maybe engaging others locally. What unique challenges or opportunities might your community face moving towards this bigger vision of a sustainable future? Something to think about.